a do not list. One of the most important things is that international consultants or advisors don't overly influence the process. You are really wanting to document the sign language that's used within the community and not influenced by international advisors. You really want to make sure that you follow your own culture, your own communities, your own languages. You want to make sure that the process is very clear and there's supported communication for deaf people who are involved, and they work in a collaborative basis and in a supported way. So that's just some examples of the content of the manual, and now I'll hand back to my colleague Karen.
Lauren and I were sitting down and thinking about how can we summarise the key points of this collaboration. First and foremost, it has to be a community-based approach. You can't have a few people working in isolation. You need total buy-in from the community. Secondly, there needs to be a focus on the process, how it actually all happens. And we do know that each country has its own context. Some are geographically larger, some are smaller, some have different populations, ethnicity, histories, laws, schools, education methodologies. There are so many different elements to a particular country. So there's just no one size fits all. So that needs to be acknowledged. Thirdly, I think from our experiences in Albania and Kosovo, we wanted to learn from the problems. We wanted to be able to solve those issues. So all those problems that have been experienced were highlighted in the manual. For example, just what we saw about how to select, for example, 2, 3 or 4 people to be involved in a sign language work project. Now, all those people must be deaf, including the volunteer group. And it's important that in time, hearing people are also involved, but the initial steps must be deaf-led. And those deaf people are to be abreast of linguistic issues. The fourth aspect is training. From what we've learned in Albania and in Kosovo, a lot of people were able to learn much from those projects, which means, for example, myself as a linguistics advisor, I wouldn't come into a country and conduct the research. I would train people to conduct research, so they would do that independently. So I share my knowledge and skills and I impart that to others. I don't conduct that myself. That way there's skill development, but it's a skill exchange. It's not just one way. I learn the whole way as well. And the final key point is sustainable results. This means community has total ownership. They feel that that work is their own. And although funding has come from external sources, the work was done by deaf people. And in time, often donors and sponsorship does decrease in time, but that will mean that the work can still continue. It's not totally reliant on funding from external sources, which makes it sustainable as a result. So we'd like to do a short explanation about our work thus far and how we did create this manual. Look, it's taken some time.